Zani on row 2, it's Rios, Esteban, and on row 3, Gonzalez, Liese, and Aunsi. Behind them, Alzina, Mark Morelli, and Leonardo Ruzzo. Row 5, Danish, Singapore, and Mithani.
Lane for the warm-up lap, meaning he's going to have some penalties coming his way. What's happened, and not to give too much away of what happened in previous races.
An incredible show of physical capacity to be able to deal with it whilst riding a bike, wearing those leathers. I mean, it's just tremendous that they're able to do what they do at this temperature.
Yeah, or perhaps Tiazzi, and there'll be an inquest.
Frustrating. An inquest.
There'll be an inquest, I think, in the weeks after this before we head off to Magny Corps for round 3. But yeah, incredibly frustrating, as you say, Connor.
Yeah, we need to be checking that thermometer because it is absolutely scorching here in Jerez. It's going on 40 degrees. These riders putting on an incredible show of physical capacity to be able to.
Rico Salmela attempting to get the better of Brian Uriarte on the outside, but Uriarte powering through with the inside line to take victory. Uriarte rolls up then to pole position with Rico Salmela. It's a matter of moments before we will see the red flag and green flag waved, and we've more problems. Eduardo Bartola, I think, is this? It is.
Yeah.
Oh, disappointment. He's going to have to start from pit. Okay, we are off and about to go racing. Eyes on the light. Junior GP race 2 is underway. Huge wheelie from further back in the grid, but it's Brian Uriarte who gets away all right. But he's got the same company, Leonardo Zani from the outside and front row. Look, going to take the whole shot up the inside with Rico Salmela in third. Crash at the back of the pack. Jesus Rios then is in 4th position with Joel Esteban and Casey O'Gorman, as you were then for row 2 as it was, but it is Joel Esteban firing it up the inside of Jesus Rios, but Rios puts the nose off him as we lose Yvonne Serpa at turn.
Incredible ability there to get the best of Brian Uriarte, get the whole shot there when he's starting on pole. I mean, absolutely sensational stuff. I mean, how audacious do you need to be to do that to Brian Uriarte after what we've seen from him so far in this competition?
And Uriarte has been relegated here to 5th position. It's a P Network 1-2. Down in P5 now. He's got Casey O'Gorman on his rear wheel too. Is there more trouble coming the way of Uriarte, or can he fight his way back here? Coming through the last couple of corners. Yeah, so Danny, no, he's opened up quite a gap here. He's got a few tenths over his teammate, number 50 here in Jerez. So turn 1, Zani's got the advantage. Uriarte is firing himself though up into 3rd position. Esteban's going to hang it on the outside but settles into 4th. He's got Rios on the inside, so Esteban's down in 5th.
This is more of what we were expecting from Esteban. He didn't make it stick for long, but it was absolutely wonderful that he's capable of. But for the time being, it's Zani who's just getting away from it. Uriarte compensating now on the second lap for what happened in the first lap and that relatively poor start, but he's got Salmela right next to him here, and Rios not far behind at all.
Yeah, absolutely. So 3 abreast as they come into Danny Pedro. Timing screens, and we've seen no major movers or shakers. Just a couple riders slipping one way or another by a position or 2. But back out front, it is Zani over Uriarte, and then it's Rios, and they go side by side here. Joel Esteban has that gap down, and he is closing that gap down. He's into the slipstream of Leonardo Zani as we come through the final corner. Let's see what Uriarte has in store. Can he make a move for the lead?
But it's Uriarte who's setting the fastest lap at 1:46.004. Absolutely sensational, almost in the 1:45s there from Brian Uriarte. He looks to catch Leonardo Zani.
Brilliant stuff from the championship leader, and the hunt is very much on here. You can see him swarming all over the ring into turn 6. We're on the back straight here. Uriarte's adopting the outside line. It's working for him. He's back in the lead, Ryan Uriarte, and it's much like what it was in race 1. Uriarte over Zani with Jesus Rios in pursuit. What is different is David Gonzalez. We said watch out for him from the 3rd row. He's got some serious pace to burn if he can get...
Is now ahead of the riders around him. He can keep that position and start eating up some of the track ahead and really try and catch up with the leading 3. Well, that's what he's got to aim to do now. For the time being, it does look like Uriarte, Zani and Rios are pulling away a bit. They've got a gap of...
On track, a 146.004 last time round. He's also just set personal best and best sector 1s and sector 3s of the race. But Zani and Rios seem to be going with him. It'll be interesting to see what the times are. 145.7, a 145.9 and 145.9. So Uriarte did
the nerves in that box there as they watch these two battle again. I mean, we talk about rivalry all the time. We were mentioning Uriarte again, who's set an even faster lap here, 145.715. Absolutely sensational stuff from the young Spaniard. But the Rad just tagging along with them, not quite in the battle between the two, but he's there or thereabouts. So he's waiting for his man with Rios. We've seen perform incredible feats before. There's no reason to think he won't perform one here in Jerez as well.
Yeah, it's a real style of Jesus Rios. A couple of the wins he's got, particularly across twin ahead of him, but then he struck and took the victory on the last lap. So he does have the habit of doing this. Now, Rico Salmela, speaking of habits, has a habit of finding some incredible late race pace. He's currently stuck behind David Gonzalez, and he's looking at the pace of the Flying Finn. He's already opened up a bit of a gap. So we're going to see what was Rico Salmela's time, 146.577. So not in the 145s like the lead trio. It was a 145.6 from Ryan Uriarte. So they're opening up a gap, but Salmela says he wants to follow them.
It's growing and growing. In the previous lap, Uriarte almost a second faster than Salmela, who it's true was battling for that 4th position with the likes of David Gonzalez, Joel Espen, and Gacio Gorman's also involved there. They were chopping and changing. But now that he's got a bit of space ahead of him,
about half a lap in, so he's moving fast, Salmela. He's pretty quick. He's matching the times of Uriarte, but matching isn't going to be good enough to catch him. So he'll need to find a little bit more. He'll need to go to the well and see what he can find. But out front, Uriarte ahead, because it's Leonardo Zani who now leads this race. He'll have looked behind and seen Jesus Rios. But now let's see what Uriarte is going to do here. Does he want that fresh air coming in, or does he want to get the reference of Zani and use him as his reference around this track and learn where is the best place to strike on the number
from Uriarte and Rios.
Yeah, you can see Rico Salmela then is closing in. Joel Esteban at the back of that group. Something went wrong for him. I think at that final corner he must have ran wide because his name went tumbling down the time screens. He's now in P10 at the back of this group, which is led by...
moved up from P11 on the grid to P8 now, so the position to start challenging the riders ahead of him.
Yeah. So this is the battle for 4th. We are watching for 5th, I should say. We are watching. It looks like they do not have the pace to go with the podium trio. They don't have the pace to follow Rico Salmela remaining.
Yeah, some of these battles are just absolutely incredible. We're going to see more of it as this race goes on. It is Indonesia who's leading this group, but Morelli's now ahead.
Oh, more problems coming the way of Uriarte here. Jesus Rios, I think it was. But yeah, so it's a 1-2 here. Leonardo Zani was unfortunate to miss out on the podium last time round, but he's here in the lead group of 3 riders. Rico Salmela though, a 145.9. Fastest rider on track right now is the Flying Finn. He had 9/10 of a second over Uriarte, 5/10 of a second over the riders ahead of him. So Salmela, it's a matter of time before he makes this a 4-way fight for victory.
Uriarte just made his move there to get into P2 as well, but this battle is raging between these 3. Ryan Uriarte now back in P3 once again, but he made his move there. Uriarte on the inside of Rios. Is he going to make it stick? Oh, that's close.
It is close indeed, and of course, as a consequence of all of this battling and fighting ahead, it's bringing Rico Salmela closer and closer to that podium trio. Early onto the position. So right through penalty for the number 34, Cesare Tietti. Oh, his day goes from bad to worse, doesn't it, Connor? Pit lane, starting from pit lane and having troubles on the grid. He now has a ride-through penalty for ignoring the long lap penalties he was supposed to serve. Oh,
he knows the rules, I hope. So yeah, very disappointing.
yeah, absolutely. So, he's running towards the back of the grid, but Uriarte, we're focused on what's happening here at the front, and Uriarte shows why he's the hottest prospect in just a matter of corners. He gets the better of both the Speed Network XCI Mir Racing Team riders. Brilliant stuff from the championship leader in the battle for 5th place. It's David Gonzalez over Casey O'Gorman, Michael Morelli. Then after that, big group here. Lanes on offer, it kind of goes without saying for P12, P13, who's the last rider? So Giulio Pugliese. So it's P5 to P12 here, this
Look
battle.
at them now, they're all punched together. It could go any way, but as you mentioned, those points can be so important. O'Gorman just there coming in.
Suffering issues in the first 2 races of the year, but it is O'Gorman now who leads over Gonzalez. So plenty of action in this scrap mid-pack. Hakim Danish involved there too. He's got a podium to his name. Picked that up in the opening round in Portugal. Back out front, it's as you were. Brian Uriarte is leading the race over Zani and Jesus Rios. So these riders, he's now what, less than 1 second. He was 2 seconds away. You can see it there. You don't need me to tell you the times. You can see Salmela is closing. It's a brilliant few laps for the Finnish rider.
Yeah, he's running at the pace for how long he's got. And then he's just behind, and that is chopping and changing all the time. Back at the front, it is still Uriarte, and now he's got Zani looking to get the inside line there, just not quite close enough. As we go through turn 5 now, a bit of room on the strip.
Rios recently. So, live championship standings, Uriarte, as things stand, would be 3 from 3. Rico Salmela running in 4th position with fall to 26 points behind. So you can see the importance of this charge from Rico Salmela to keep himself within range of.
Yeah, about the 5th, absolutely incredible. As is this performance from Uriarte. We saw him coming under real pressure from Zani and from Rios, dropping back, and he showed real composure to claw his way back to the front.
Throughout the weekend to be a contender. Of course, he is one of the front runners of this Junior GP of class in 2025. But his pace has been excellent, and many have tipped him to go with Uriarte all the way this weekend. Not the perfect start, but he's showing why people were riders in here as well. So it's pretty good watching, I would say, here. Gonzalez leading over Danish, Casey O'Gorman, big points on offer.
Yeah, Pugliese in there as well. Absolutely fantastic. I don't know if you've seen any of the recent social media stuff that the Junior GP account is putting up, but they did a quiz with our Junior GP social media team. Absolutely fantastic. Danny and Sergio putting it together.
Fantastic stuff, as always, from the guys.
So yeah, watch that. Go to the follow Junior GP on social media and watch the quiz with Rico Salmela.
Yeah, Leonardo Zani, much like it was in race 1, just going wheel to wheel, matching him blow for blow, the championship leader Brian Uriarte. But now he's still got problems coming from behind. Rico Salmela and Jesus Rios are on the charge. Salmela particularly has closed out a huge gap here. He's displaying from all to play for. Big points on offer between P5 and P12.
Oh, David Gonzalez goes wide there. Very unfortunate. He's pushing there. Danish is leading this group, and Gonzalez, despite that moment, is still very much in this battle. This
half a second quicker than the riders around him. None of the other leading quartet have been in the 145 last time around, but it doesn't matter much because Jesus Rios has decided he's had enough of being in 4th position and fires himself back into the podium places with Salmela's pace.
in the battle, well, it's a different story.
Yeah, different story at the front too. Leonardo Zani now has control of the race. Brian Uriarte slipping into 2nd position once again. Zani has had some experience leading the race, this race too already, but he does have some serious talent. 3 Junior GP Race P race. Brian Uriarte now in 3rd position. Has he got an answer to Jesus Rios, who's just relegated him there on the front straight? He does not. What about the battle for 5th? Hakim Danish still leading over Casey O'Gorman. Then it's Esteban and Pugliese. But it's Danish on for good points here, sitting 4th in the championship.
Absolutely, yeah. I don't think we could say that we were surprised by his performances either. He's been absolutely brilliant. As you mentioned in Estoril with the podium, now here. Just a shame he wasn't able to catch up with this leading group. There's contact there between Uriarte. And both the Finetwork riders find themselves falling.
Veda Ega Pratama bangkit di Junior GP 2025, catat poin perdana, siap kejar target lebih tinggi. Awal musim yang berat. Musim 2025 menjadi tantangan tersendiri bagi Veda Ega Pratama. Setelah menjalani musim debut yang menjanjikan di Red Bull Rookies Cup, Veda melangkah ke ajang Junior GP, salah satu jenjang penting menuju Moto3. Sayangnya, musim ini diawali dengan insiden kurang menyenangkan. Pada seri perdana di Estoril, Portugal, Veda mengalami kecelakaan saat race 1 yang membuatnya menderita cedera pangkal fibula dan pergelangan tangan. Cedera tersebut memaksanya absen di seri kedua, membuat posisinya di klasemen sempat kosong. Meski begitu, Veda dan timnya tak menyerah. Proses pemulihan dilakukan intensif, dan Veda kembali membalap di seri ketiga di Jerez, Spanyol. Meski belum mencatatkan poin di Jerez, itu menjadi langkah penting untuk mengembalikan ritme balapnya. Ujian Magny-Cours dan mental baja. Seri ketiga yang digelar di sirkuit Magny-Cours, Prancis, Minggu, 6 Juli 2025, menjadi titik balik Veda Ega Pratama. Balapan digelar dalam kondisi cuaca ekstrim, dengan hujan deras mengguyur lintasan sejak pagi hari. Sesi latihan bebas dan kualifikasi sudah menunjukkan bahwa Veda cukup adaptif di trek ini, meskipun baru pertama kali mengaspal di Magny-Cours. Saat balapan berlangsung, kondisi lintasan semakin sulit. Banyak pembalap terjatuh, termasuk nama-nama besar di ajang Junior GP. Namun Veda tetap konsisten menjaga posisi, menunjukkan pengendalian emosi dan fokus yang kuat. Balapan akhirnya dihentikan lebih awal dengan bendera merah setelah lap 8. Veda, yang saat itu berada di posisi ke-12, berhak atas 4 poin perdana musim ini. Reaksi dan harapan dari Indonesia. Hasil di Magny-Cours langsung mendapat sorotan dari berbagai media dan komunitas balap Indonesia. General Manager Marketing Planning and Analysis AHM, Andi Wijaya, memuji ketangguhan Veda yang mampu bertahan dan mencetak poin di tengah cuaca sulit. Menurutnya, ini membuktikan bahwa Veda memiliki potensi besar dan menunjukkan perkembangan signifikan sebagai pembalap binaan Astra Honda Racing Team, AHRT. Di media sosial, dukungan dari penggemar pun terus mengalir. Tagar Ayo Veda dan Veda untuk Indonesia kembali viral. Banyak yang menganggap keberhasilan Veda mencatat poin di Eropa sebagai momen penting bagi perkembangan balap Indonesia, sekaligus menjadi motivasi bagi pembalap muda lainnya. Menuju seri berikutnya tantangan baru. Setelah sukses di Magny-Cours, Veda kini bersiap menghadapi seri berikutnya di Motorland Aragon, Spanyol, akhir Juli 2025. Sirkuit Aragon dikenal sebagai salah satu trek paling teknis di kalender Junior GP, dengan kombinasi tikungan cepat dan lambat yang menuntut presisi tinggi. Veda sendiri menyatakan bahwa targetnya tetap realistis, bukan hanya mengejar hasil podium, tetapi mengumpulkan poin sebanyak mungkin dan terus memperbaiki performa balapnya. Dengan 8 balapan tersisa di musim ini, peluang Veda untuk naik ke posisi 10 besar klasemen akhir masih terbuka, meski membutuhkan konsistensi dan kerja keras ekstra. Kesimpulan, mimpi besar seorang Veda Ega Pratama. Perjalanan Veda Ega Pratama di Junior GP 2025 masih panjang, namun pencapaian di Magny-Cours menjadi bukti bahwa dirinya mampu bersaing di level Eropa. Di usia 16 tahun, Veda telah menunjukkan karakter pembalap profesional, mental baja, ketangguhan fisik, dan dedikasi tinggi untuk terus belajar. Bagi Indonesia, Veda bukan sekadar atlet balap motor. Ia mewakili harapan baru untuk melihat bendera merah putih berkibar di ajang MotoGP suatu hari nanti. Dengan dukungan yang terus mengalir dan kerja keras dari tim, langkah Veda menuju level tertinggi dunia balap motor tinggal menunggu waktu.